This plain behind me is where the legendary leader Hannibal hurled the army of Carthage against the might of Rome in 216 BC. I'm Matthew Settle. Over 100,000 men fought in a battle to the death. Over half of them died here in Cannae. Today this land is part of Puglia in southern Italy. It's hard to imagine what it must have been like then. But now with new video game technology, you are about to see this great battle as never before. The vast numbers of soldiers, the troop formations, how they fought, and how the battle was won. Get the view the generals wish they had. Now, on Decisive Battles. This is all that remains of the Roman town of Cannae. But 2,000 years ago, these fields saw Rome's mighty legions battle against one of the greatest military minds in history, Hannibal, commander of the armies of the great trading city of Carthage. By 250 BC, Rome had made itself master of all Italy. Now it wanted to expand and to control the Mediterranean Sea. But it had the wealthy city of Carthage on the north coast of Africa to contend with.
The problem wasn't that the Mediterranean was too small for two rival powers, but the problem was that Carthage had designs on Sicily and Spain, and Rome had designs on North Africa.
For 24 years, the two great powers fought a bloody war for control of Sicily. Carthage was defeated and Rome imposed crippling terms for peace. Hamilcar, the Carthaginian general in Sicily, was furious. As sacrifices were being made to the gods, he brought his 9-year-old son to the altar and made him swear an oath, never to be a friend to the Romans. That young boy was Hannibal, and he never forgot his promise.
When Hamilcar died, power passed first of all to his son-in-law, Hasdrubal, and then when Hasdrubal himself was assassinated, it passed to his son, Hannibal.
Carthage is now in debt. It's got to pay the Romans off money every year. It's lost a lot of its territory, so they decide to create a very solid, very wealthy province in Spain, and also a very strong army.
Rome was worried by the recovery of Carthage and was just waiting for an excuse to strike again at its old enemy. When Hannibal attacked a Spanish city loyal to Rome, they saw the perfect excuse to go to war. But Hannibal decided to attack first.
Hannibal works out that the only way to defeat Rome is to go right to the center, to go to Rome itself, go to Italy, and beat the Romans there.
Hannibal's strategy is one of the clearest cases in history of attack being the best form of defense.
In 218 BC, he began his march north through Spain with an army of 100,000 men and 37 elephants. Then Hannibal did the unthinkable. He crossed the Alps into Italy in the dead of winter.
Hannibal is an immensely charismatic leader. Hannibal could get armies to do things that most men simply couldn't have dreamed of. Somehow an army with Hannibal in command could go that little bit further.
He was still a young man, only in his 20s, but his hatred of Rome drove him and his army onwards. The Romans got their first taste of Hannibal at the Battle of Trebia. And now with new video game technology, we will be able to see Hannibal in action as never before.
The importance of elephants shouldn't be underestimated. They were never used as pack animals, they were only used as weapons. And they were very important for his image. We know of coins that we still have, in fact, coins with the image of Hannibal on the one side and an elephant on the other.
The Roman legions were crushed by Hannibal and his war elephants. The next year it was the same story. Rome sent a second army and suffered a second defeat at Lake Trasimene. Nothing, it seemed, could stop Hannibal. his army rolled on south, through Italy, and rested here on the Adriatic Sea. Hannibal was now less than 100 miles from Rome. He had already killed or wounded 100,000 legionaries. In desperation, the Romans decided to gamble everything on one great battle. They committed 8 legions, 70,000 men.
The Romans decided that they were going to go for broke. They were going to create a massive army, twice as big as anything that had faced Hannibal before, and simply smash him.
On August 2nd, 216 BC, the huge Roman army met Hannibal, here, near the town of Cannae. It would be Hannibal's genius against overwhelming odds. It would be the bloodiest battle the ancient world had ever seen. The hot wind blows off the plain of Cannae, just like it did 2,000 years ago. But then the fields were uncultivated and home to the 2 most powerful and different armies of the ancient world. At stake, control of the Mediterranean and the future of Rome itself. Let's take a closer look at the huge Roman army which opposed Hannibal. It contained 8 legions. Each had up to 5,000 men, drawn into 3 lines, which were in turn divided into squares of infantry. This checkerboard formation was designed for maximum flexibility, but it was tricky to operate in the heat of the battle, and needed a very experienced commander to make it work. The Roman soldier, just where you stood in these 3 lines was based on your age and your experience. If you were around 17 to 25, you would take up position right here in the front rank. Here you would be in the thick of the action. As a raw recruit, you would become battle-hardened or die. If you survived to your mid-20s, then you would graduate to the second rank of experience.